What's up, guys? Everything Fish here. Doing a Fishroom update because, hey, why not? I've got some spare time. Might as well do one. I was going to do a Species Info 7 soon, but I've got a lot of stuff updated in the Fishroom, so I figured I'd do one for you guys. Video, that is. So, first off, starting at the 30 tall. A couple things changed in here. A couple things changed in most of my tanks, actually. You can see there's no more Quarries in here, unfortunately. I came home one day to find one of the Aeneas dead, laying up there. Didn't look like it had any marks, but I'm very suspecting that my Asian bumblebee cat Noog back there, let's see if I can get a shot of him. He just hides most of the day now, unfortunately. He's not too active anymore. But I'm half suspecting that he tried to eat the Quarry, and then when he felt the barbs, he just spit it up, and then at that point it was pretty much dead. So, feeling bad for my other Quarry at this point. There's only one of them in here. Shouldn't keep it with gravel in the first place. I moved it into my Paliotis Quarry tank, so you guys will get to see that in a bit. So no more Quarries in here, which means down to 6 fish, but that's still pretty good for the bio load. I don't have to do massive water changes all the time now, but I also finally got a heater for in here. I had one last winter, but it broke in the spring, so my house is warm enough in the summer that I don't need to heat any of my tanks, so I just left it without one for then. But I got a nice cobalt heater, 100 watt. It's working really well for me. I think it goes from 68 up to 90, it looks like, maybe 66. Pretty nice heater. That's pretty much all that's happened in this tank. There's the Akara. Get a good look at her. She's a beautiful fish. So, going over to my 75 now. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, so here's the 75 now. A lot of stuff's changed in here. Just a couple things, actually, but pretty major. So, starting with the least major of them, got a new sponge filter in here just to cycle that in case I need to get a new tank up and running, which I doubt's going to happen until I have the Fishroom. But you never know, right? In case I need an extra fry tank, which I might, because one of the things that happened. Quick update on the fish. There's a Danios. They're part of the new update. You can kind of guess what's happening. Here's the catfish. There's Sarge in there. He's about 8 inches now. Getting freaking massive. Hoping to get him to 14 inches. 12 is a minimum. So, here's Leo in here. I measured him the other day. He's actually 5 inches now. He is finally putting on size. He's in a growth spurt right now. 5 inches is pretty considerable for a Wrath after having him for like a year and a half. You can barely see him in the video, sorry for that. It's the best shot I can get, but he's doing good. There's my Gibiceps Pleco, Pedro. He's also massive. He's probably pushing 8 inches. He's at least 7.5 now. But he just poops everywhere. I mean, holy crap. This fish is a gigantic bioload and mess, but he's one of my favorite fish, so I can't really get rid of him. And not really 75, but I brought the bins in for the summer. I haven't really done many videos on these. Wow, you can't see that, but I'll just explain what it is. It's the bins I had outside full of water every summer. I was growing plants and snails in them as feeders and just to grow plants. So I brought them in because they had like a foot of ice on them, and unfortunately one of them cracked. I lost all my Malaysian trumpet snail that I was using for feeders, and the hornwort just froze to death. I think I'm the only person who's ever killed, or not hornwort, duckweed. Yeah, I'm the only person who's ever killed that invincible plant, I think. But I have the native snails that were doing alright under the ice. I brought them in. There's about 10 that lived, including the big one that I had since summer, which is actually the one that started the entire colony. But that's what that is. Here's the bullheads grow out. They're doing good. I haven't really taken a guess at their size, but I'd say about 2 3/4 inches at this point. They're decent sized. I don't want them to grow too fast because I really have no plans for them until a pond goes in my house. And that's not going to happen until spring. But you just saw it here. This is the big surprise with this tank, guys. This, I just came home anyway, day after Thanksgiving, See something on the side of my glass on this tank. I thought it was a piece of dirt. Come back the next day, take a better look at it, and you can kind of see in there it's fry. To actually fry from my 75 gallon from my giant Danias, I have no idea how this happened. Normally giant Danias really, you need to, well, I mean, they're not extensively difficult to breed, but you normally need to put a good bit of effort towards triggers to breed these guys. And they just bred all by themselves for me. I got 12 fry in here. They normally breed a couple hundred, but you know, I got all these catfish in here. I'm surprised I got this many that survived. They survived overnight, a couple nights obviously, plus the eggs, so I'm really glad I got 12 fry for my breeder award program at my local fish club. So that's awesome. I got fry from these guys. Been feeding them gunk from my sponge filters because their mouths are just tiny. You can see they're probably about 1/5 of an inch, maybe a quarter at the most. So sponge filter gunk and very crushed up flake. I am so sorry about my cat. There's nothing wrong with him. He just goes on these rants. Trevor! Shh! Okay, he's not going to stop. I'll just pause this video after I'm done with the 75, but here's the fry. They're really awesome. I think this is pretty good footage, considering I have them in, like, I don't even know if this is half a gallon plastic container. But let's move on to the fish room now. Alright, back guys in my fish room. Took a couple minute break. Sorry about my cat again. I had to go give him food. That's why I was meowing like that. But yeah, about those Danio fries still, now that I can talk without being interrupted. I might have them for sale. I don't really think anybody's just going to buy 6 giant Danios from me because I need at least 6 for my breeder award program. But if you guys are interested in them, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll probably take them to my local fish store. I don't think I'd be able to ship them too far, but if you're local, just let me know. If I can even get them to adulthood, because I have minimal knowledge on saprinid fry, so I'm trying to learn up on that now. But anyway, here's the 30 long sunfish chub sucker tank, whatever you want to call it. There's a Paula. Glad she's actually out, because for the past month or so, she just kind of sulks in the corner there and under that rock, because I think I explained this last video. Yeah, the lowering temperatures make her think it's winter. This is her first winter in a tank, so she's being kind of lethargic. She's starting to learn that she's in captivity in a stable environment, finally. So she's getting more active now, but she's still pretty inactive. You can see there, she's probably about 4 inches at this point. Not growing too much, probably won't put on much growth till the spring, but it's something. There's a chub, still around 5-6 inches, maybe 7, or 6.5, 6 3/4 on the big one there. But somewhere around there. And there's Hoover, who unfortunately you can see has a couple abrasions on him because the sponge filter under there where he likes to hide was getting too tight. I figured that out the other day. Some Nanfa people helped me with that, so thank you, Nanfa. Because I couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. So I raised the sponge filter up a bit. He's got more room under there. Hopefully he'll start getting better. Awesome fish. One of the few people on YouTube with a sucker. Native sucker, that is. So there's that. Moving over to the planted native tank. Things are doing alright in here. I finally got the algae under control a bit anyway. Doing lots of water changes in here. Still got the 3 red side dace. And the silver jaw minnows, 3 of them. And the 2 bluefin killifish, which is where another update comes from. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in these plants, but I know there is at least 1 bluefin killifish fry, which is awesome because these are probably my favorite killifish out there. Native from Florida. Really awesome fish. I saw one the other day. I tried to catch it in my net, but it just slipped through the net holes. Which is really tiny, guys. See if I can see it through here. I don't want to drop my phone in there. Yeah, I haven't found it in like a week, so I don't even know if it's still alive. Probably is, because there's a lot of gunk in that hornwort it could be eating. But there's at least 1 in there that I saw. Hopefully it's still alive. Probably going to keep it to start a colony, because I just have a pair for now. But yeah, good news there. Another spawn for me. Here's the 30-gallon Riffle Tank, 30 long. Everybody's doing great in here. Got the rainbow darters, green sides, banded, variegates. There's green side darter there. Awesome fish. Green sides are one of my favorites just because they have so much personality. None of them have really learned to come up to my fingers or hand yet. They're still a little spooky. Let me get down ground level here. Get a better angle at them. There, get some good footage. It's a rainbow darter female. Just did my last native fish care on that. It's a variegate. Awesome, beautiful darter. Let's see, where's the banded at? Is that it? Nope, nope. I don't know, that's probably the most elusive fish in here. That banded darter. Oh, there she is. You kind of see her tail sticking out. A lot of glare there. Or not so much glare, I don't even know what you'd call that. Look like when you go to a 3D movie without the glasses. There she is. Kind of hard to see her, but she's in there. Moving on to the next starter tank right here. Got another update in here. I kind of rescaped it. I made the sponge filter like this, so it's kind of embedded in the gravel. That way there's a spot underneath that can be another cave for them. My Johnny darters like to go in there, and you can see I got more fish in here. Mid-level fish. I bought these on Saturday. These are a native live bear. They're called gambusia, or very commonly mosquito fish. And these are gambusia finis, which is the western mosquito fish. And I'll be right back, guys. I gotta get something again. So hopefully can I finish up the video this time. Somebody was just getting home. I had to go say hi to them. Sorry for the interruptions today, guys. I guess I picked a bad time to do a video, but I was saying these are western mosquito fish. Awesome. I'm starting to really love live bears, getting into those. So that's awesome, which they don't take up a lot of tank space either, so another plus. Yeah, these guys don't have a lot of color, but they look really nice. They have a good pattern on them. Thought I got a gambusia the other day, actually, at one of my different LFSs, but turns out it was just a really fat feeder guppy, so I had my heart set on them at that point, but so I just got a trio. And the females look like they're both pregnant, so hopefully I can get a colony going in here. Very aggressive live bears, I've heard, towards mainly themselves, but also a lot of times other fish, but I haven't seen any aggression in here yet. So until they start picking on anybody, I'm just going to leave the Johnny darters in here with them. So that's that. Hopefully I can get some fry out of them. And moving over to the Quarry / guppy tank. Paliotis are good. I did lose my other male Tequila Sunrise guppy. Sad news there, but he hasn't been healthy for a while, so he's kind of out of his misery at this point. That male was just beating the crap out of him. I couldn't really do anything about it. There's the other guppies. And if I can find that new one, they look so similar. I think it's that one, what I bought the other day, looking like a gambusia. But its colors have changed since then, and that's just a big fat feeder guppy, which gave me about 60 fry. They shouldn't look the best, but hey, you never know, it could have bred with a fancy guppy, so I'm just going to have to wait to see what the fry are like. And moving on to the last tank, 10-gallon fry tank, and this is probably the best news in my entire fish room, because you can see, looking at all these fish, not one of them has ick anymore. Finally cleared up all the ick in this tank, and I have about 40 fish in here now. Got a big batch the other day, from some from the Tequila Sunrise and some from the feeder guppy, but it's mixed. A lot of females, a lot of males, And you can just see the color starting to come out in these tequila sunrise. It's just beautiful. There's one of the males there. Probably going to take 6 of these to my local fish club auction on the 12th. And then the rest will be for sale either to my local fish stores, other aquarists, hobbyists in the area, or if you guys want any, just let me know. I'm selling them for 50 cents a piece if you want them, but it depends on where you live because shipping is a cost. And I don't want to be sending a group of 50-cent fish all the way across the country. But if you're nearby Pennsylvania area and you want some, or in any of the nearby states, just let me know. Be happy to sell you guys some. And that's pretty much all that's going on in my fish room. I'm going to work on another species info either tomorrow or Thursday, and probably start making the notes for the next native fish care. And that's what's going on. I will see you guys next video. Hope you enjoyed the update.